Hello. It is time for more mince raft. Let's see. Here we are. And I've got the chat up from the website instead of the chat from the studio. I'm going to see if it gives me chat faster. Also, I feel like every time I start playing, the Minecraft sounds are too noisy. So let's start by testing again. Actually, that's not too bad. I tested in Chicken World because that's the loudest thing I can think of that's easy to produce. Warning, a huge battleship Steve is approaching fast. Interesting. Let's go back to the creepy manor. Oh, it's a village meeting. Which one of you is the false mason? I realized after looking back on the last stream that there's 3 promoted masons and 1 cobble mason. This guy. And he was one of 2 villagers who kept breaking in and trying to become masons in my house. Hello. It's probably you, huh? So now I'm trying to figure out, how do I have 4 masons? Because I'm pretty sure that he was also a mason when I had picked up the table. So this is the mason house, and it's got 3. I like how you can see through all the windows. So there's 3 masons in that one. Did I leave a stonecutter in here? I'm trying to find out if there's a 4th stonecutter somewhere in town that isn't in my base. Because there was definitely 2 villagers who were messing around with the stonecutter. Pardon me? Well, that's right. I never have an emerald zombie when I talk to this guy. Oh, town cat. Because the blast furnace makes the armorer. And not many of these houses actually have a workbench of any kind. This one doesn't have one. This clay building might. If there's a 4th one, it's probably here. No, I picked it up. Let's put another door in it. And yet, here you are. Maybe I'll just follow him around, and then when they enter work hour, I'll be able to see where he goes. Not in here. 'Cause I'm pretty sure he was in his Mason outfit while the other one was also hopping into the Mason outfit. Which means that there had to be a total of 5 stonecutters in the village. Unless I'm misunderstanding what I saw, which could be possible, of course. I don't think there's one in here. Maybe it could be a situation where, like, it came from the other village. I want to put a name tag on them so I can keep track. So if I take my stonecutter away, will he lose his outfit? But I don't really remember how to make name tags. So I looked in what I think is every house in the village and we didn't see another stonecutter. It looks like it's work hour right now. Judging by the fact that the Fletcher's in the Fletcher house and the farmers are on the farm, maybe it's work hour for most of them. See, because if he goes towards my house during work hour, then that means that he wants to work at my stonecutter. Which I think is the case, because it's like right behind that wall. Yeah, see, he's trying to figure out how to get to it. Hey, don't mind me. I'm not here. Give me the 1,000-yard stare. Alright, there's somebody on the roof. It's kind of cool that I can see them up there. My stonecutter is currently installed, and he was like right at it. Oh, hi! It's a bunch of people without jobs socializing on my balcony. I guess they have to pick somewhere to hang out. That's kind of cool. I like that they're all up here. But, in the doorway, it's kind of a bad spot. It's too bad you can't have, like, decorative items that they recognize as sort of lounge areas, and that they sort of gravitate to do their hangouts at. I think it'd be nice if you could have blocks that sort of act as like instructions or guides for the villagers to say things like, you know, this spot is a hangout spot, or this spot is nobody's allowed here. I think that'd be good. And it wouldn't be like overly specific. It would just be a matter of like maybe like a kind of a force field where the closer you get to it, the more of an effect it has. Am I out of stone? Ugh, I was worried about that. Can I buy clean stone? I have 2 emeralds. Sell some sticks to the Fletcher. Plenty of dirt. Hey, Ghost of Coffee. Nice to see you back. How are you? Oh, bad timing. I gotta go turn something off really quick. But you can sit here and watch over the villagers. Make sure they don't do anything dumb. I'll be right back. I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little tired. I just took a nap, but other than that, I'm pretty good. Let's see the justice. I have no idea what the dog boy's doing while I have. Probably freak out. I'm back. That's weird. They put in-game chat on, even though I have. I changed that setting last time. I don't really like digging. If I dig too much in Minecraft, I get carpal tunnel. So I'm gonna see if I can buy stone off the masons. Maybe I'll stop complaining about how many masons there are and just make a bunch of them. What are you having a problem? He's like, those are my carrots and you know it. You. Nope. What about you? No. What about you? No. They buy clean stone, but they don't sell it. This guy. I'm pretty sure this is the one who's attached to my specific work table, even though there's not actually a way to get in there. And he doesn't sell stone. Guess I'm gonna have to go back to the quarry. Because I need rocks. Guess that's what happens when you build a giant building out of rocks. You end up having to dig. You know what? I haven't visited Belton in a while. I'm gonna see how they're doing real quick. I know that you haven't seen this one. This is the other town. I think I was gonna try to figure out how to merge them somehow. Artemo plays. Hello, welcome. You a blacksmith? Leather worker, right. Because this town has 4 leather workers. Yeah, hello, villager. He was looking right at me. He's like, really eager to go to bed. But then you have to just stand there and wait, huh? Okay, that golem is stuck. A nice fountain, I love it. I called them Belton because they naturally spawned more than one bell. This was a barn until I stole all the animals. You guys have a mason. And a blacksmith. I don't want to steal this. Not like they're really using it. I think I will. I'll just have Clayton be like the real village, and I'll move everybody over there. Although Belton is, of course, totally nice. Nothing wrong with it. Weaponsmith. I want that weaponsmith, but I can't afford it. How about you? Another mason. I don't know. I could look up the exchange tables online. I kind of don't want to. This is a smithing table. Nice. I'm just gonna steal all their professional equipment. And then my professionals will be more professional. I have no idea how far away villages will expand before they don't consider themselves to be the same village or whatever. I'm not really sure how it works. I don't need a mason. Or one of these guys. Or any of the 4 leather workers. I'm gonna take all their stuff. 4 leather workers. Absolutely ridiculous. I've never met a person in the world who needed 4 leather workers. Oh yeah, and they have like spooky attics that have like just enough dark space for mobs to spawn in. And they just have a problem. Like me. My problem is that you have too many cauldrons and not enough cauldrons for me. But if I wanted a cauldron? Silly. Huh. Huh. Alright, now that I've looted quite unfairly. Wait. I'm gonna go to the quarry. Not a food. I have no idea why I brought so much stuff with me. I'm not gonna be able to carry it. Oh, there's still stuff in here too. Alright, well, I'll drop some stuff off. And then I'll make 2 trips. Wow, there really is stuff in here, huh? Well, first, it's time to go down. Here's the tunnels I was making. I'll make a new one down here. And here we go. The real Minecraft experience. Doing nothing but basically standing and walking and swinging an axe. Doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Actually, I'm gonna turn off in-game chat because I have the chat pop up right here. Let's see. Alright. Saved. You said you really love mining? I like spelunking a lot. I like going caving. What I don't like is strip mining. Maybe if I had, like, you know, an overpowered pickaxe or something. But it's just sort of like, I know it can be, like relaxing, but I don't like how mindless it is. It's like, you just kind of dig until something happens. And when that's happening, you basically have no information, no context. You don't know where you are. It's weird. You like strip mining? I know there's people who do. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's not my jam. But at least as long as I'm doing it, maybe you'll enjoy me doing it. Tell me what you like about it. Let's share feelings. I want to hear the positive side. I like cats and coffee. This is all my personality. I see. So coffee, cats, and strip mining is your entire persona. You're also a ghost. So I guess you're a ghost of cats, coffee, and strip mining. Honestly, we're pretty similar in that regard. I'm also a ghost. I also like coffee. I also like cats. The only thing we're different about is I don't like strip mining. I don't get why people have a hard time with, you made this your entire personality. It's like, yeah, so what? Is there an actual problem there? I doubt it. Do cats in real life? No, but I've lived with a lot of cats. I've never owned a cat, but I've lived with other people's cats. And I think they're great. I think they're really misunderstood. I don't really trust people who say that cats are evil or whatever, because they're kind of just showing that they don't understand different species like facial expressions and means of communication, and they don't want to either. I think there's this problem where people basically just assume that every animal has the same facial expressions and modes of communication as humans, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, every species that isn't ours is basically a space alien, and we need to think of that in terms of, like, you know, they're going to communicate in a way that doesn't make sense to us. I mean, like, dogs are easy mode. Dogs literally evolved to have facial expressions that were easy for humans to read so that they could get along with us better. So, if you like dogs and not cats, chances are you don't realize that the dogs are giving you as easy a time as possible. The cats are just normal. Dogs are definitely easy mode. Yeah, exactly. And you know, cats also do their best to do cross-species communication, but instead of doing it through body language like dogs do, and like having eyebrows and stuff, cats did it through attempting to copy humans. Like the meowing thing, everybody's heard by this point that when cats meow, it's mostly because they're around humans. They learn to do it because they're trying to communicate with humans. If you've ever seen a cat being ignored by somebody, And then their meow keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper until the person pays attention to them. That's because they have picked up through experience that humans and cats have different ranges of hearing, and so the cat is doing their best to accommodate. They're just like, meow. Oh, they didn't hear that one. What about meow? No, they didn't hear that one either. Let's try this one. Meow. And they just keep going down until they're like, meow. And whatever one you pay attention to them at, they kind of just assume that's the one that you can actually hear. Dogs know this too. Dogs are aware of the physical differences between dogs and humans, because dogs know that they can see in the dark better than we can. That's why they wait till the lights are off to do naughty things. It's like, that's weird. I was sitting here this whole time and they didn't say anything to me. Oh, maybe it's too dark for them. And it totally is. And cats do this not just with humans, but with lots of species. Cats are very social. They'll try to copy whatever species that they end up with. You know, if a cat is raised with bunnies, they'll like hop when they walk. They'll just like bounce everywhere. And if a cat is raised among horses that are used for like dress shows, the cats will do like a dainty trot everywhere. I like to think of cats as like interspecies communication scientists. Like, they do their best to try to study and understand other species. They're kind of like anthropologists. Although, I think this is true to some extent for all social species. Elephants are a good example. They won't necessarily go out of their way to try to communicate with humans, but they will go out of their way to try to understand humans. They even follow our verbal instructions, not because they think they have to or whatever, but because they think we're cute. Like, if a dog with, like, a button board pressed the button for, like, you know, let's go play outside, and you're like, okay, sure. That's what elephants feel like when we tell them to do stuff. They're like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll do it because you're so cute. You ever seen... yeah, you ever seen elephants? Look up the Wikipedia page on elephants sometime. It's great. If you ever seen elephants like standing around a human in a circle, just petting them with their trunks, just being like, "Aww," it's totally a thing they do. Elephants feel the same emotions about us as we do about puppies. They do our best to they do their best to be a team player with us because they can be, right? They know they're bigger and stronger than us. They know they could easily squish us and murder us. They know this. They choose not to because they like being friends. They enjoy teamwork. There was one time when an elephant was being used to place logs in the ground to build a fence. And so a human was sitting on top of the elephant and guiding them to where they wanted to put the poles down. And the humans had already like dug holes in the ground like a couple days prior to be able to get everything measured out first and then to go back and put the logs in later. And when they tried to get the elephant to put down one of the logs, the elephant just stopped and refused to put it down in the hole. And they spent like an hour like poking and prodding this elephant trying to get him to put the pole down, and the elephant absolutely refused. And it didn't make any sense to them because everything was fine up until that point. So they went down and investigated the hole, and you know what they found? They found that inside the hole was a dog who was sleeping in the hole to get out of the sun. And the elephant saw the dog and refused to place the pole down. So that just goes to show you, right? Like, the elephants aren't doing what we tell them to because they think they have to. They're doing what we tell them to because they like other species, and they like getting along with other species, and they care about them. Which is why the elephant chose to take the dog side in that situation. Because it wasn't about what species they are, it's about whether you're helping or hurting. And lots of social species are like that. I think it's very cool. Yeah, they're nice and gentle most of the time. There are situations in which elephants are not nice and gentle, but it's usually not something that people like us have to worry about. But in general, yeah, they're like really team players. They care a lot. I don't even want to get started on elephant language because I'll just keep talking forever. But to put it in short, elephants also speak language that only they can hear. And they have names. Elephants have names, and they also give names to the humans that they meet as well. And they remember their own names that humans give them. So the elephants have my elephant language name and also my human given name, and also the humans have their own human given names, but also the elephant language nickname. And the elephants easily remember all of these different things, and they talk about humans by name to each other. It's wild stuff. There's a lot of species. It's kind of weird, right? The topic of anthropomorphism, meaning assigning human traits to animals that don't have them. Or I guess just assigning human traits to animals in general. The thing about anthropomorphism is we both do it way too much and not enough, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of criticism about anthropomorphizing cats is a perfect example, because if a cat is quote quote glaring at you, it's actually because the cat's really happy and cozy and is trying to be friendly with you. The cat's slow blink that shows like friendship and comfort. So like saying that a cat is glaring at you when they're doing the slow blink is a form of anthropomorphism, which is obviously unhelpful because it's not an accurate assessment of the situation. But there's other things that people get criticized for as anthropomorphism, which isn't. Like for instance, acknowledging that elephants and other animals have language. A lot of people think, no, only humans can have language for some reason. And so it's sort of a situation where people have a hard time believing that animals can have traits that humans also have. Which, you know, it's like, you gotta be careful if, like, I don't know. I think that if you're just a normal person doing normal things and you ascribe human behavior to an animal without knowing anything about it, I think that that is an easy trap to fall into, and that's probably anthropomorphism. But if you're like a researcher and you're like studying animal behavior and you're like, hey, this kind of looks like language, I think that's a different situation. I think people want to believe that the gorillas couldn't really do sign language, which I think is very silly. It's like, why wouldn't they? There's no real reason that people would say this, except I guess they're pessimistic or they don't like the idea of sharing traits with animals. And as a furry, I don't understand this. I mean, like, aren't animals cool? Don't we want to be like them? And besides, we're animals to begin with. It's not like we're so fundamentally different from other species that it's impossible for us to share traits. It doesn't matter how complex or intelligent we think the traits are. I think the problem, and I don't want to go too much into this, but I think the problem comes from religion. I think that there's some people who have found a way to read the Bible in a way that implies or says outright that animals don't have souls, and that they kind of attribute the concept of having a soul to having intelligence. And so there's this idea that animals can't be intelligent because our faith says they don't have souls. I don't know. It seems like a thing like that. It's weird. It's like we're perfectly fine attributing malice to animals that don't have it, but not capable of attributing intelligence to animals that do have it. I'm almost worried about the octopus thing. I mean, there's a list of animals that we believe are the most intelligent, and octopus are definitely high up on that list. It's like elephants, horses, pigs, octopus, dogs, primates. I can't remember what else, but there's a lot of animals that are like considered by us traditionally to be smarter than others. Octopuses are definitely on that list. And they said when I was growing up that the only thing holding octopuses back from creating technology and being able to pass down knowledge to octopus generations that come after them is that they die after having babies, so that you don't have a generational teaching system where the babies can learn complex information from the parents. So, guess what I saw in the news today? Now, I don't believe that headlines of articles usually say what they mean, but it's certainly a hint that we're trying to go in this direction. I think humans just want to be unique and be the only species that's smart. Yeah, and honestly, we are unique because every species is unique. We definitely have stuff that other species don't have. I think that we just are in a bad habit of just assuming what those things are instead of just finding out. But anyway, so the article was like pointing in the direction of that we're trying to quote fix the problem, so to say, of the octopus dying early in its life cycle. I think we're trying to create elder octopuses, which is a phrase I think anybody should be at least a little bit intimidated by. I think we're trying to create octopuses that survive the childbirthing process and that are able to raise their children in next generations of octopuses. I think that's what we're trying to do. And I'll have you know that octopuses are already capable of, you've probably heard these stories of the octopus like exiting their tank at night where nobody can see them, crawling across the floor, stealing fish and eating them from other tanks, and then crawling across the floor again, going back to their own tank and then closing themselves back inside it. Like, not only does this show that the octopus is extremely dexterous and capable of navigating areas that it might have a hard time with its eyesight being able to see, but it also shows that the octopus understands the concept of sneaking around. And like, it's like the octopus didn't sneak around so that it could escape. The octopus didn't sneak around so it could kill the humans. The octopus snuck around because it wanted the fish and maybe didn't want to get in trouble. And like that's like weird and complex. It's like when did octopuses have like the evolution for spy missions? But like they do it. They successfully fool humans. And it's not even in a hostile way. It's so weird. So, and I think it's hilarious. There has also been octopuses where they'll like steal cameras from like scuba divers. They'll be like, "Hey, it's shiny and weird, and you're pointing it at me. I want it," and they'll just take it. If an octopus takes your camera, you're basically not getting it back. They got so many tentacles. So okay, so this basically goes to show that octopuses have some interesting and complex motivations and behaviors, but we could consider them somewhat of a baby species because each generation has to start over with its species knowledge base. So what happens if we fix that problem? Like, what'll that be? I mean, to put it another way, when I was a kid, from what I heard about science, I kind of decided it made sense if we considered octopus to be our rivals in intelligence. Like, if octopuses fixed their generational problem, then that means that they could rival us with, like, technology and knowledge. As long as, you know, they went unimpeded. Possibly even helped. I don't know. Are we trying to create a species that has as much, like, as much cultural power as humans? Because it could be possible. I just don't know. I just don't know if that's the plan. I feel like a lot of the time scientists just do stuff because it's cool, and they don't want anything specific out of it. They just want to do it because it's cool. I think it's weird that we've basically been ignoring primates. It's like, I know that we're not directly related to them, but they are our cousins. You'd think that we'd be trying to communicate with them. I think primates scare us. I think that they're too close for comfort. I think people don't want to think about what, like, a half human, half primate situation would be like. Like, they don't want to imagine, you know, what if we evolved more in their direction, or what if they evolved more in our direction? What would that be like? I think that scares some people. But if that scares people and the octopus thing doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. I think the octopus thing is way more intimidating. I don't really need this iron bar. Not that I think that we should be scared of the octopuses. I'm sure they're totally fine. It's just, I think we're tapping into a potential that we probably don't understand. Yeah, the octopus thing is more scary. Yeah, totally. Because, okay, if we're being real, if we were to sort of take a species on as like an apprentice species, I think that we should pick a variety of bird or ant, because I think that those are more likely to like and trust us, or to want to cooperate with us. Like, especially if we're gonna have a capitalist system when we're doing this, because there are species that are set up to understand and participate capitalism. Like, for instance, crows. Crows definitely understand capitalism. They trade for things all the time. They understand that different things have different values, and that you can trade different amounts of something to get something better or more interesting. They also are, like, civic minded. They like to pick up trash and throw them away in trash cans at the parks. They like to pay money for tacos and vending machine items. Like, crows are great. Not to mention, you know, if you make friends with one crow, you make friends with basically the whole murder. And the other thing is also that they're pretty good at taking care of themselves. It's like they have a low exploitability because they can reach places that we can't, and they remember faces. So if somebody starts harassing them, they have ways to deal with it. So I think crows would make a good sort of sibling species. I think ants are a good contender as well. You don't have crows in your country? Aw, that's okay. There's other type of corvids that might work as well, such as ravens and starlings, but less so than crows, I think. There's also ants, which are absolutely everywhere. Did you know that, pound for pound, ants outweigh humans? I think that's pretty great. It's like, think about how many ants it would take to equal the weight of one human. And then there's more of that group than there are individual humans. And there's so many different species of them. One of my favorite types is the Garnet Ants, and this is what I was thinking of when I thought of like having an apprentice species. There's ants who will, in the process of digging their nests, they will they will run into rocks and other pieces that they can't use and are just in the way. So what they'll do is they'll carry them up the spout of the anthill and they'll dump them out the side of the anthill. So in like a ring around the anthill, there'll be like this clutter that they don't want. And so the thing is if ants build a colony in an area where there's like underground gemstones, they will actually dig up the gemstones and deposit them as trash on the outside of the nests. And so you can actually just go up to an ant colony if you're lucky and nobody's been there before you, and you can just like grab from their garbage pile these like unturned precious stones and just take them back and make cut gemstones out of them. And it's like, imagine how much easier that would be if you worked out a deal with the ants. You know, if you're like, hey, can you try harder and also I'll give you food? Hey, thank you for the follower. Thank you. I don't know why I said it like that. XD Amadou, I think it was. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so what if you're just like, hey, ants, I really like what you're doing. It turns out that these weird rocks that you don't like, we actually like them a lot. So could we do a trade maybe? I think the ants would totally be down for it. I think they'd be like, yeah, sure. I mean, it's pretty easy. I think they'd absolutely be down. By the way, you can set up a shop for crows if you ever live in a place that has them. If you set up a shop for crows, basically that means you just start feeding them, and then at some point, out of gratitude, they'll give you some sort of bits and baubles that they found. Usually it's like pieces of plastic or like a paper clip or like, you know, like a bottle cap, things that they think are interesting that they think that you might think are interesting. And they'll bring you these little bits of stuff that they like in exchange for being fed. And so what you can do is you can feed them more or less depending on how much you liked the thing. You can say, okay, well, you get 1 worm for a bottle cap, but you get 2 worms for a button. And then they'll just be like, oh, I get you. You're a button fan. Don't worry. I know where I can get more buttons. And if they happen to bring back something like useful, like a dollar bill, a coin, a ring, that kind of thing, then you can be like, oh yeah, this thing gets you 10 worms. Absolutely. And then they're just like, ooh, jackpot, boys. We figured out what this person likes. We're going to get so many worms. And so then they basically become like your bird mercenaries and they go hunt down other people's stuff. And the best thing is you don't even know whether they found it on the ground or whether they straight up just stole it from someone. Because, like, honestly, how are you ever going to know? They give you like a wedding ring someday, and it's like this thing could have been like sitting around in the woods for 10 years, or it could have been like, you know, your own aunt's wedding ring that she lost yesterday because a crow took it from her. Like, you never know with crows. I want a crow. They're not good pets. If you interact with a crow, it's going to be where they are outside and they go back to their bird colony to sleep at night. It's not like an ownership situation. I don't think you actually want to own a crow. Oh, you mean just like being friends with it? Because that's definitely possible. Her friendships are great. I'm really trying to figure out how to fit all this stuff. Okay. I'm gonna have to make a bunch of trips. Too bad I couldn't figure out how to get a horse. I tried using hay bales. Also, maybe I need horse armor. I'm not sure. But yeah, crows are great. They're also goofballs. When it snows, they like to slide down car windshields over and over. They're like, wee! They're really great. And although they're not very popular, rodents actually have a really high potential for interacting well with humans. The more we can communicate with rodents, I think the better. People have already figured out how to train rats to help them put wiring in a building because they can walk through the walls and carry a wire with them. I think that's so cool. They're just like, no worries, boss, I got it. I wonder if I can use a horse. I'm gonna try to see if I can make horse leather. Leather horse armor, not horse leather. Leather for horses. Yes. Leather horse armor. And then, like, do you need saddles? How do you make a saddle? Pretty sure horses got updated since last time I tried anything. Oh, bring this. See what happens if I put the horse leather on a horse. I don't remember how it works. Horse, horse, horse. A lot of people don't think horses are smart, but horses are definitely one of the most intelligent ones. Well, okay. Horse. Well, he's got the armor now, but still no saddle. Okay, so the saddle is something else. I'm gonna look that up on the Minecraft wiki because I totally don't know how to get it. It's probably something obvious. Let me just go look really quick. Minecraft saddle. Yes, a saddle in Minecraft. You can loot it. You can use it. Cannot craft it, it looks like. A dungeon, a bastion remnant, a desert temple, an end city, a jungle temple, another fortress, stronghold, or village. From a weaponsmith, a savannah house, a tanner's chest. Okay. I might have to go looking for other villages. Master level leather workers have a 50% chance of selling a saddle. This trade is always offered in Java Edition. Okay, so we just have to get a leather worker up. Let's see, did I bring a leather worker thing with me? Yeah, they used the cauldrons. Did I bring a cauldron? I did. So now I'm gonna have cauldron men. I'll just do one since it's 100% chance. I'll have them hang out with the Fletchers maybe? How is there two Fletchers if there's only one Fletcher block? Because I know I keep running into both Fletchers. Hello, Fletcher. See, this is the cool one that I like. And the last time I ran into one, it was the one I didn't like. I'm gonna look up name tags too. Either way, I'll put that in here. There we go. Anybody gonna take it up? Here's the one, Fletcher. Hello. Which one are you? The good one. This is not the first time I've had a rant while playing Minecraft about cat and dog behavior, and it won't be the last time. See, he's the Fletcher I don't like. So how do they both have jobs? I don't understand that. Minecraft Wiki doesn't say squat. I'm just gonna follow you around. Gotta figure out where the fletching table is. You gotta work on it sometime. I'm just gonna follow this guy the whole time. No. Hello. What? What do you want? What? I wasn't following you. Ignore me. I did my own thing. So he visited the fletching table. And there's the other Fletcher. Maybe it's because he has levels? Maybe after a certain amount of levels, they don't despawn? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they only take the outfit off if they haven't gained any experience. That would be interesting. If so, that would explain the situation with the Masons. So here's the 3 Masons. Oh wait, and the 4th one. They all have experience, including you. So I'm gonna see what happens if I take all the cutting blocks away. Do they still are state Masons? Yeah, they totally do. Okay. So basically, once they have experience, they have experience. Okay, cool. Ooh, I heard a splash. That means the leather worker's working. Oh, yeah, that's my alarm. I'm gonna do other stuff soon, but I still have a minute. I want to see the leather worker. That's one of the Fletchers. Hey! Hi, my guy. Leather worker novice. Ooh, you're in luck. I have a way to get infinite items to give you. I just need wheat. Actually, can you get leather from pegs? I don't know if you can get leather from pegs. Let me try. Hello, Pig Pog. Pig. 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 And pig. Perfect. Now, time to die. Nope, no leather. Gotta come from the wheat eaters. Good thing you guys are growing so much wheat. I might create like a trapped farmer and have him grow wheat all the time, and have it so like he's got like a worker's hut and a bed and stuff and an enclosure that he can't leave like a prisoner. And just be like, oh, that's the wheat guy. He makes the wheat. Maybe. Hello. Why do I hear a skeleton? Pardon me? What's going on here? Hold on. What is happening? Oh, right. It's behind here. Woo! That's not great. I can always repair the house, but you guys, get out of here. I can always repair the house, but I can't repair the villagers. I broke the rule that I always used to remember pretty nicely, which was always light the spaces that you're going to block off. Well, I didn't remember that time. It's kind of a cool spot. Probably going to put a door here. Make a nice little cubby. I'll leave it open for now. Alright. I've got to go. I have prior arrangements. But it was fun streaming, and thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.